Most of us are working a full-time job or studying. We are not fitness influencers or professional bodybuilders. We have a limited time to fit in a workout. And given how important resistance training is for health and longevity, how can you optimize your gym time to get all the benefits in less time? In this video, I want to share all the science-based time-saving techniques you can use in your programs to decrease your gym time. Rest pause sets. These can be done in two ways. The first one is to pick a rep goal, for example 40 reps, then pick a weight you can do for around 15 to 20 reps, then you keep doing as many sets to get to your rep goal, with 20 to 30 seconds rest in between. The second way is to set goals instead of rep goals. Then you pick a weight you can do for 15 to 20 reps, and then you do as many reps in each set until you reach your set goal, with 20 to 30 seconds rest in between as well. To progress using this technique, you can either increase the reps or the sets, but I would advise you against using this technique in big compound movements like squats or bench pressing. It will be very risky and taxing on your central nervous system. It will be very fatiguing, so it's better to leave it for accessory exercises. For these movements, you can use the top set, back off set technique. This is where you do a heavy top set, usually anywhere between 80 to 90% of your 1 rep max in the 3 to 6 rep range. This is considered a strength set to maintain and improve your strength. Then decrease the weight by 20% and do a couple of sets in the 8 to 12 rep range. This is considered the volume set to maintain or increase your muscle size. To progress here, you can add more back-off sets or add more weight to your top set, depending on your goals. If you want more strength, then you add more reps or more weight to your top set. If you want more muscle gain, then you add more volume to your back-off set. The second technique is supersets, probably one of the most researched time-saving techniques. It has 3 types for 3 different use cases. First type is called agonist-agonist superset, which is the same muscle group superset, and probably the least popular type of supersets. You can do it if you're doing something like a bro split, where you're training 1 muscle a week and you're pressed in time, but use it very, very sparingly. The second type of superset is useful when you're doing something like an upper or lower split or full body workouts. It's called agonist peripheral superset, meaning there are 2 different muscle groups, but the systemic fatigue or the central nervous system fatigue is the limiting factor. Something like bench pressing and squatting, 2 different muscle groups, but the systemic fatigue will be very high and it will be the limiting factor. As shown in this 2022 study comparing agonist peripheral supersets and traditional sets, showing that there's no difference between the 2, but the superset can impact session performance. Again, use it very sparingly and when you really need it, because you will not be able to sustain this amount of fatigue for long. The third type, and probably the best to include in any general time efficient workouts because it doesn't impact performance based on multiple studies at this point, is agonist-agonist superset or different muscle groups but not fatiguing ones. For example, rows and bench press or pull down and chest flies. Here you can progress using the normal progressive overload techniques, using sets, reps, weights, intensity, because it won't really impact your performance. Probably one of the best time-saving techniques out there. However, sometimes it's not practical because of logistics in the gym, if the gym is crowded, so use it cautiously and don't be annoying to people. The third technique is drop sets. Probably one of my favorite time-saving techniques. You pick a weight, go to failure or shy of failure, then drop the weight by 10 to 20%, and then do another set to failure, and so on until you do 3 to 4 drops. There's really no rules on how many drops you should be doing, but 3 to 4 is usually pretty good enough. If you're not pressed on time, use this sparingly in 1 or 2 exercises by the end of your workout, preferably in accessory exercises, something like preacher curls or dumbbell lateral raises. But if you're super pressed on time and you want to get your workout as quickly as possible, you can switch all your workout to drop sets. And usually this will take you 30 minutes to finish your workout. Not the most efficient thing energy-wise and sanity-wise, but it's better than skipping the gym. But be warned, it's gonna be very intense, it's gonna be very hard. Similar to supersets, drop sets has been shown to be very effective or as effective as traditional sets in many studies. Most recent is this 2022 meta-analysis showing drop sets having similar strengths and muscle building gains as traditional sets. The fourth time-saving technique is high reps training. For example, if you are supposed to do 3 sets at 80% of your 1 rep max for 8 to 12 reps with 3 minutes rest in between, that will take around 15 to 20 minutes to get done. What you can do is lower the intensity to 65% from 80% and do more reps and take less rest in between. And this should cut this exercise time to 10 minutes or so. Not my favorite technique, but it's worth noting in case you find yourself needing that. It's better to keep this for accessory movements, something like machine chest flies or machine preacher curls. These time-saving techniques can be very intense and very fatiguing, so I wouldn't recommend this for beginners. So I would advise that you get some lifting experience first and then incorporate these time-saving techniques in your workouts. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.